Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what class you are. So, we're going to get started much in the same way as all of the other videos. Is You're going to start with a rough outline, and then you're going to smooth out that outline and then add your value. I want you to notice that when I started here, I made it a little bit too big this first year, especially the gap between that area that more or less forms like a Y is what I call it. And they all have that. Same as the other videos, I did try to provide you guys with some variety, and I even considered maybe doing an ear from the back, as if you were looking at somebody standing in front of you. But that's so simple, I decided that it wasn't even worth it. I also considered one at a kind of 3/4 angle from the back, but that is a little bit too complex. This is just a beginning level course after all. So if you happen to make your ear too wide, you can see in the video how I would correct that type of mistake just by increasing your shadow on the right or the left, depending. So you kind of squeeze it in with the shadow. I also did erase the shadow when I felt like it was too much. So that's why it's important to shade around, and that's something that is common throughout all of these ear drawings, even though you might not have that type of dark value behind a person. So I did try to do two of the ears to where it's kind of somebody, as if somebody were standing in front of you looking at you. And this is one of those. So that shadow behind isn't super dark. This is a part where I go back and I corrected that ear. You see right there. So I did erase into it because it was way too wide, and you can see how I increased the shadow just to kind of bring it in. And I feel like it's much better than it was the first time. And ears are pretty complex in the sense that there's lots of curves and they kind of interweave with one another. Luckily, historically speaking, artists have simplified them. So it's not something that you want the viewer focusing heavily on. So you don't put an extreme amount of detail into it. And artists tend to just, do them very quickly without too much detail. And I think that's the right way to go personally. I wouldn't advertise or promote like super hyper realistic detailing of anything, but much less of ears. So yeah, just try your best like all of the other assignments. I did try to include this one with an earring. There's all different types of earrings, all different types of ears. So what you have to do, like all of the other things, is just look closely at your reference and try to, create that as much as possible. Though this is still good practice because they all have similarities. And once you do a self-portrait or a portrait, you will see that these drawings certainly will help you do a better job. And I could already see it in a lot of you. A lot of you have gotten much better from when we first started these lessons. So you guys, I'll see you in class, and try your best and be safe wherever you are.